And welcome to our public hearing for today, November the 20th, 2025. And the public hearing involves an ordinance of the County Council for Allendale County authorizing the execution and delivery of a credit agreement by and between Allendale County and Hampton Lumber Mills for payment of fee in lieu taxes. We're going to open up the public hearing. We will not spend a whole lot of time on it. I think it's pretty much a done deal. Council has accepted it, and I think we'll move forward, but I see a shadow overhead there. Mrs. Major, go ahead.
A quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
How many years before we actually receive a payment, and do you have an approximate amount of what it would be when we receive it?
I don't have those figures with me today, but we can get that to you. Generally, and McCain, you can chime in, it's usually about a year after operation, which is probably going to be 2027.
It generally, what they generally do is file a PT 300 with the Department of Revenue every year. As they start their construction, they have 5 years or 7 years. So the investment period, they have to meet the minimum that they said they would meet. So the first year, I mean, they'll file a PT 300 in January or so that by April of next year for what they do this year. But that won't be a tax bill until next year, or a fee bill until next fall. And as they ramp up, that fee will ramp up. I can't remember what the fee schedule on it was.
I know it's a 40-year fee.
Yeah.
Super fee, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is based on what they submit to the Department of Revenue every year. And then the Department of Revenue tells us what the fee is, based on the years.
Thank you.
Okay. But if you drop by the office, we can provide that fee schedule for you.
And that's a proposed or expected. It's not-
Yes.
It's all still kind of what they have.
Yeah. McCain, he's going to be watching, make sure they put every dollar in that project and more. Any other questions? Matt mentioned, as well as Clay, this is a 40-year. Normally, we see 30 years, been the norm for most of our industry, but just based on the amount of money being invested, they were able to secure a 40-year fee in lieu agreement. Yeah.
And they have all the incentive in the world to make the investment within the investment period, because if they don't, it reverts back to math along 10.5%.
Yeah.
And we can go retroactive back to the day they started, and that's a big bill they don't want to pay.
Absolutely. Okay. Any questions? If not, I'm going to declare the public hearing on the ordinance governing fee in lieu and taxes with Hampton Lumber come to a close. Any questions from council?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Walter, I don't need a motion to do that. Thank you. Okay. Welcome again to our regular council meeting for November the 20th, 2025. I'm calling this meeting to order, and we'll ask our Vice Chair, Mr. John Chaney, to give the invocation.
Let us pray. Father God, in the mighty name of Jesus, we come right now, Heavenly Father, thanking you. Blessings you bestowed upon us. We thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. We thank you for protecting us all day long, Heavenly Father. And Heavenly Father, as we go through this meeting, we ask you to be in the midst of us, Heavenly Father, that every decision we made is in the best interest of everybody in Allendale County. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Vice Chair Chaney. And moving along, the declaration of a quorum. We do have 4 of our 5 members here. Councilwoman Jennings is not feeling well, but we ask that you pray for her and she get back on her feet quickly. So. We're down to item number 4, approval of the minutes. And we have 2 sets of minutes here. First being September the 2nd, which was a budget meeting, and our regular council, well, public hearing and our regular council meeting, which was held September 18th, 2025. And I ask council for a motion to approve.
Chairman, I move to approve the September 2nd budget meeting and the September 18th public hearing and regular council minutes.
Okay?
Second.
Moving properly second. Any question? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. Item 5, approval of the agenda. May I have a motion from council to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the agenda be approved.
Second.
Moving properly second. Any question? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Again, welcome. And we have a very good crowd here tonight. We do have some 3 or 4 citizens that have signed up. And no particular order, and I probably messed them up. I don't have 1, 2, or 3, but anyway, our first citizen is Ann Rice.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Beautiful summer day we had today.
Yes.
I just kind of wanted to update you on a little work of the South Carolina 250 and the Allendale Historical Society. I think I told you we had submitted grant applications for historic markers for 3 of them on Highway 3 to Groton. 1 for Matthews Bluff, 1 for Colonel James Thompson, and 1 for the old Savannah Augusta Road. Well, we've just gotten notice that we received the grant for those, so we will have submitted the grant applications for those in the next month. And probably we'll hear probably in about 6 months, you know, whether the historic designation is approved. So that's something we have to look forward to in 2026. We also submitted one in partnership with Barnwell for Vince's Fort and for Captain Vince, who built the fort, is up on the 125 highway right before you go to the Savannah Riverside. And that was a Revolutionary War fort that was burned by the British. And the purpose of that fort was to keep the British from getting supplies from Savannah to Augusta. But we have not heard from that one yet, so don't know about that. We also have gotten Clarion's approval to pay for the historical marker for Topaside. And so that grant application will be submitted probably in the next month. So they will be paying for that. And we're still working on Little Hell. And I've been taking a history class at Salkehatchie. And the young people did research papers this time. And one of them brought up something that I had not thought of. And he was doing a paper on Robert McNair. And they said, why isn't there a historic marker for Robert McNair in Allendale County? I said, you know, I never thought of that. We really should have one. So I would like for the council to consider thinking about that, because it costs right at $3,000 to pay for the marker and to pay for the submission. But I do think that, I mean, we have a governor that was from Allendale. I think we should recognize that in some way, so I think that the council should consider that. Other news is we will be having Revolutionary Days in March of 2026. We'll be doing it a week, but we will have the display from the museum on Native Americans during the Revolutionary War period for the whole month of March at USC Salkehatchie. So we look forward to having a lot of people come out for that. And the other big news is that we will be again hosting a Smithsonian display January of 27th at Salkehatchie. So we were thrilled to be selected to do that again. And so that's another good thing we'll have going on for people to come to Allendale to see. And that will be at Salkehatchie also. So just kind of want to update you on what we're doing. And we also, last night, the Historical Society meeting, we had gotten the plans back for the museum, but rather than try to rush and bid things out during the holidays, we decided to wait till the 1st of January to get all that sent out at this point. Because we were afraid we wouldn't get good, a lot of people bidding during the holidays, so we had put that off to January.
Thank you so much. Next we have Ms. Lena Breen.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First, I have two things I want to. The first one is about the fire station. I want to know, are we getting ready to get some bids or whatever? I just want an update on it.
We submitted on Skibo, which is a normal process. Put it out statewide for bids. And what I've been told as of yesterday, we've had many inquiries concerning the design of the design and build of the fire station. So that's ongoing, and this is the second submission that we've done because the bids initially came back pretty high. So we started that process over again, and public safety members are here, so John, Matt, chime in.
Yeah, I'll just echo what you said. I know I talked to the chief today, fire chief, and he said the same thing. The RFP's on Skibo, having a pre-bid meeting on January the 1st, and the bid submittal deadline is December the 12th. So by December 12th, all the bids should be.
December 12th of this year, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay,
then
I
we
have
have
to
a
ask.
process of choosing,
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just the fire station. Does that include the community center also?
We have not established, and we're looking at the additional funding based on where the community center was funded in terms of, we had a list of 10 or 12 items, and I think the community center might have been somewhere down there. I don't know exactly. And so if there's funds available for that, and if it's funds got to be available, and if the community center is next in line, then we will look at trying to combine the two.
Now, we're not talking about the sales tax for that just came up. This is the sales tax for years and years ago. Am I right? So I thought we discussed that in one of the meetings before when you were talking about these ones that are from years ago. Those are the ones that should be completed. Am I right?
Well, the projects are never completed as fast as the money comes in, anywhere I've ever been. So what the chairman's talking about is we still have to fund them in order. Even if you got all the money on hand, you still have to go through those projects in order listed on the ballot.
But the older ones have priority. The ones that are
The
from.
older ones are funded with the other tax, the new projects are funded with the new tax, the two don't mingle.
Okay.
So we just got to see what's available and how does the community center, is it next in line?
Okay. Okay. Well, we do want the community center, but the main thing now is the fire station.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we had a fire last night and it took a long time for the fire trucks to come out and whatnot. I had to check and say, are you coming? Yeah, we on the way. I said, I don't hear anything yet.
Yeah, well,
So,
I was in town when it happened and I saw them headed out that way, so they would look like they were flying when I saw them.
they were flying? Okay, all right. When they were, okay, no comment. The next thing on the agenda is I got my taxes for vehicle, and I have a question. The road user fee, $30.75. What is, I know use of the road, but can it be a little bit more specific? What is the road, what is that used for? Because I say that because we have roads in the country, it's dirt roads, it's SC dot roads, or,
Oh, yeah.
how does that work?
Well, I tell you, thanks to Mr. Pinckney, he's always kind of gotten on us about how we use that road fee. And I think council's been receptive in taking a very good, strong look at our user fee for our roads. Clay has been able, our administrator, been able to been inclined and as well as persuasive enough to, and I think we all agree, and Buddy has a hand in our auditor has said some things to us over the years. That we can take that user fee to do some actual financing of, say, heavy equipment for the roads. So, and that's what council will be entertaining, taking that road user fee to help us in acquiring and financing heavy equipment for the county to do road work and et cetera.
That sounds so good.
Thank you.
It does.
Thank you.
But will it really happen?
We worked on this for years, but I think we finally got a clear go-to as to how we can do it.
Okay, because that's
And
$30.
Linda, just make certain that we do it.
Okay. I'm gonna stay on it because that's $30.75. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember that money was supposed to be used for keeping the roads.
And Mr. Pinckney kept telling us that, and we kept using it for other things. So I think we're gonna listen to him, because
That's not fair.
I know, we're gonna listen to him. It's fair now that we listen to him.
Wow. Mr. Pinckney,
Ma'am?
he sounds like he's apologizing.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, all right. I guess maybe I need to come in the office and have a talk with some people. Not take up a lot of time tonight.
Well, just let us know, administrator, he has a schedule that's published on Fridays as to when he's gonna be in, and I'm sure he'll make an exception.
Okay. And you are at the office 4 days a week?
3 days a week.
3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
It varies on what's
it
happening during the week.
And you
Just
did-
call, we'll figure out.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right.
Oh, thank you all.
All right. And as always, we kind of save the best for last. Mr. Pinckney, you gonna sum everything out?
I tried.
I was able to make your name out tonight.
Good. I had somebody that's right. To the chairman and to the councilman and to the staff of Allendale County Council, good evening. I'm not here to fuss, and what I have to say is not personal. It's business. What I have to say is not personal. It's business. So I don't want you all to take this personal. Okay? I want you to take it as business of Allendale County.
Sure.
I got 5 things to do, and I'm gonna do them quick.
Okay.
Number 1 is public grounds.
Public,
Grounds.
okay,
Public grounds
okay.
of Allendale County. It's poor. If I was grading Allendale County grounds, I would probably give you an F. And that's all the grounds. Public buildings. If I was grading them, I probably would give you a D.
D,
A D.
okay.
Rural roads, I would give you a 0.
Thank you.
That's another F.
Might as well say it.
I would give you a 0 because in 1993, county council decided that we needed 2 motor graders to cover the roads that we have in Allendale County. And we did that in 1993. Here we're in 2025, and we don't have a motor grader. Something happened. I don't know what happened. But 7 years ago, we had 2. One was fairly good and one was poor. But now we have 0. my understanding, the transmission went out in the last motor grader you all have. And we have dirt roads that haven't seen a motor grader in over a year. A few days ago, 2 months ago, the director sent the little 35 horsepower tractor up in Martin with a rake behind it and made the road worse than it was before the rake showed up. And they hadn't seen them no more. Before the motor grader tore up 2 months ago, the motor grader showed up in Martin, on the low section of Martin, just coming towards town, and stayed about 2 weeks, but it moved about 3 days out of 2 weeks. And then when it moved, it went back to Allendale instead of coming up to the hill in Martin. So Martin, the top of Martin, hadn't seen a motor grader in right at a year. Miss Williams, that lives across from me, is crippled. The rescue squad had to go up there regular. And if I didn't take my tractor and the bucket and try to smooth that road out, you couldn't even get in it. I'm doing it with my personal tractor.
Sure.
That's pitiful.
Okay. What is number 4 now?
Number 4 is equipment. I spoke with your director the other day, and he was trying to figure out how to get some equipment. We didn't tell him from the CTC we would buy it for him. But what we told him to do was go get a quote on a lease purchase and see what that looked like. And then we can figure out a way to try to help.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But we can't just go out and rent stuff to rent stuff, because if you go out and rent a piece of equipment and they tell you it's $500 for 8 hours, and you don't use it for 8 hours, you still got to pay $500.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? So that'd be a waste of money to do something like that. And last,
Number 5.
number 5.
Okay.
The state has what we call a rollback tax fee in all the counties. If you change the use of property, you have a rollback for 5 years that you can go back and tax that property, and the property owner either pays it or the buyer pays it, or they can pay it together, but it's supposed to be done. Now, how you all been doing? Thank you very much. That's my number 5.
Thank you. Thank you. One of the things James and I asked Walter, and Walter, please chime in. I'm familiar, you call it rollback, I call it clawback. And I think Walter and I had a conversation on that. And Walter, is it still law that you can do that? Because, you know,
It's called a rollback tax.
Okay.
Especially when you change, you know, anything from agriculture to commercial or
Yeah.
anything. And usually when people are buying property in the contract, it provides who is to pay the rollback tax.
Yeah.
But the county has to assess the rollback tax. And I don't think that Allendale County has ever been consistent in doing that, even when you were on council.
Yeah.
Mr. Pickett.
And I can tell you what happened with when my first major project was the Grant Forest, when they actually came in and bought some of the Lobo property. We never did the clawback or rollback on that property, James, and I was sitting here. And when we actually enter into the fee and lieu agreement. So, as Walter said, you know, if we don't initiate it,
Right.
and I imagine the same thing would apply with Hampton Lumber, Tang Tang, and some of the other industry that has come in. I can't ever remember doing a clawback, as I call it, rollback. And I got a call the other day concerning rollback. And of course I said, "You talking about clawback?" That's the way I was taught to identify it. because I think our neighboring county has gotten into some trouble about some rollbacks, so,
The assessor's supposed to.
That's right.
is supposed
That's
to
right.
do it. And I think it's 3 years now, but it's called rollback.
And,
Not
Rollback's
clawback.
when you get money back.
Rollbacks when you feed little.
and Mr. Robertson, I was sitting there too, and I remember well.
Yes, sir.
But the majority on council always ruled.
Yes.
Each time that I voted for it to be, and I was overruled by the rest of the council to not get the money back.
Well, James, you and I sat here together, and I don't ever remember voting yea or nay on it,
You're
but
not
you,
really supposed to have a choice. That's state law.
If something changes hands and it's in ag use, and it's sold to somebody else, it automatically loses its ag exemption until that new person applies for it.
exactly. So, that's
If they
something,
don't apply for it, then the rollback applies
okay.
automatically. Shouldn't be a question. I'll check.
Well, I think we just need to make certain, James, you don't need council approval. If it's something that's initiated by the assessor, then he or she need to be doing his job, that's all.
But if the teacher don't teach, the people don't know. So if you don't put no heat in the assessor's office, it won't be none.
Thank you so much, James, and those 5 items, we certainly will, sound like you gave us 4F and 1D, so. All right, we're down to our public comments, and now to our visitors. And we're happy to have Dr. Valerie Kay from Allendale County Schools. Dr. Kay, welcome. We enjoyed our meeting with you last week.
I definitely enjoyed it as
Good.
well. We'll make progress together.
Good.
Good evening to our chairman, to the other board members, and it would be remiss if I did not say to our sheriff and his team who take care of Allendale County School District every day, good evening. I'll be very brief. I'd like to have the opportunity just to talk with you a little bit about Allendale County Schools and where we're headed. So our motto at our mission is to prepare every single student every day for a world-class education. Our vision is to ensure that every student is equipped so that they can be prepared to enter college, the workforce, the military, or be entrepreneurs. If they want to go to a technical college, we support all of those endeavors. We're a K through 12 school district, well, pre-K, 3 and 4 through 12, funded for K through 12. But we're also making sure that we are a STEM certified school. We are also have collaborations with the University of South Carolina, Salkehatchie, as well as Denmark Tech and Voorhees University. So the first thing I'd like to talk with you a little bit about the progress. I'm really proud of the progress and the dedication and the hard work that we have done so far since I arrived in 2023, September 5th, 2023. This year, our results, we're calling the Allendale comeback because we're on our way forward. Our third grade increased their scores by 8.6 points. Our fourth grade increased their scores by 4.6 points. Our eighth grade increased their scores by 12.3 points. Our math gains have been remarkable in third grade with 17.3 points, and our fourth grade with 14.8 points. Our science gains are growing. Our fourth grade increased their scores by 4.8 points. Our sixth grade by 12.5. Our high school gains, our algebra scores have gone up by 15.5 points. Our history rates, A and Bs, have tripled with a 4.7 point increase, and our high school overall score went up 5 points. Now, I'm very transparent. Our elementary school is average, our middle school is average, while our high school is still below average. We have gained overall score of 5 points, and we're excited to see what this end of the year will bring. Our projected high school graduation rate will be 80% because it's always been in the 70s and 60s. So we are moving forward. I'd like to now move to some of the offerings that we have in Allendale County School District. What you often hear, you hear the negative things. but I want you to know today that you need to come visit and see the wonderful things that the students are doing and the teachers are doing. So we have an innovative Aspire Academy. In Allendale County Schools, in Allendale County, we have a high dropout rate. So what we have decided to do in our school district, in partnership with our sheriff department, we have an alternative program where our children can come at flexible hours. Our sheriff, along with county council, has supported us with SROs so that our children are safe. They have relocated now to our Fairfax site, which we are reopening there and renovating that building. So schools need to be 24/7 for children. Some of our children are staying at home to take care of sick parents. Some of our children are staying home to take care of younger siblings. And some of our children just plain old do not want to come to school during the course of the day. Okay? So we have flexible hours. While adult education is great for children, I believe that the public education, while they're K through 12, they need to be able to be in school. So schools exist for them. We also have a dual enrollment opportunity at Early College Academy at the University of South Carolina, and then we have opportunities for our children to get dual enrollment with Denmark Tech and Voorhees. We also have a further degree program now where our paraprofessionals can get their college degree through Voorhees and then come back and be teachers with us. We've expanded our CTE offerings. While we have lost a couple of our CTE offerings, we have expanded others. So we have our welding, we have cosmetology, we have dental hygienists in collaboration with Southern Edge Dental Clinic in Fairfax. We have our CNA program in collaboration with Allendale County Hospital. We have our CDL training program, which is taught by Marlon Creech. We have machines shop and forklift. And we also have business and accounting. So we have some wonderful opportunities for children. We have extracurricular activities with basketball for JV, middle school, football. We have cheerleading and dance. Dance is new this year, volleyball. We also have track and field. And we have a phenomenal chorus that's getting ready to travel to the Juilliard School of Music, as well as we have our band back, and we're excited about that. We've done renovations. The children have to be able to feel proud when they travel. So we had to do a bond because we're under emergency management, so we can't go out and use some of the other offerings, grants and things that they have. So we had to do a bond so we could get some new buses for the children to travel on. I don't want them on jalopies as they go places. We're under construction now for a new performing arts center that will also have a secondary gym as well as a multi-purpose space for our children as well. We have new hardwood floors in our gym. We've renovated every classroom, and we have a new playground because it was out of compliance for our elementary children, so we have a new one there, and we've upgraded the front office areas in both the middle and high school for safety, and we're getting ready to renovate the elementary school for safety. And last but not least are our partnerships, which we hold very dear, and those are with Allendale County First Steps. It's with our Sheriff Department, our Meeting Street Scholarship Fund, our strategic compensation, which allows our teachers, the more our children grow, the more money they can earn onto their pay. And then we have Stop the Violence program with Clemson University. We have Smiles Dentistry. We have Healthy Learners. We have many others. We have Original Six, which is the Nikki Haley Foundation. So we have lots of persons that support our Allendale County schools. I wanted you to know that we're up and moving and we're ready for the Allendale comeback. I invite you to come out to the Carolina Theater for our chorus. We'll be having their wonderful concert, and that will be December 15th and 16th. And we have public shows during the day, and we have performance in the evening. Now, you can't come free because it's $8, but I invite you to come out and hear our children sing. Here's one for each one of you. Thank you so very much, and I look forward to the great things that we'll do together.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Ken Holt. He's going to talk about our airport improvement and all the things he's done over the years. And I know Lonnie over there, he's ready to chime in at any time. So, Ken, thanks for coming, and good to see you again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, and members of council. We come to you every year, or this time of year, because the FAA requires a 5-year CIP, capital improvement plan update. I believe you have been provided a copy of
Yes.
the spreadsheet as well as a sketch that shows the upcoming projects. They are looking for this year for federal fiscal 2027 to federal fiscal 2031. We showed on our spreadsheet federal fiscal 25, which is already come and gone, and federal fiscal 26, which we're in right now, from a cash flow standpoint. So we're trying to keep up with the funding sources that you get outside of the grants. So you have two of those. You have one that's called Airport Improvement Program, AIP, entitlement of $150,000 a year. And then the bipartisan infrastructure law set up an allocation like an entitlement every year that varies, which is, they call it the Airport Infrastructure Grant, AIG. Now, Bill, the bipartisan infrastructure law will expire at the end of federal fiscal 26. So this is the last annual allocation from the bipartisan infrastructure law. Okay, so we've taken all that into account to show how we can leverage some of these grants, some of these the monies that are available through the FAA and the South Carolina Aeronautics Commission. And we've got the projects listed in the order that the Airport Commission has approved, and and we can go down through each one of them if you like. One of them that we're currently designing is the runway and taxiway rejuvenation project, which also includes upgrading the runway and taxiway lights. So you're going from quartz technology, which is it's outdated and it's hard to find certain parts for it. And this is, all the lights will be LED, and we plan to bid that sometime in the early spring of next year, and then based on the bids, we'll see how they compare to our estimates, and then we'll decide to move forward with a grant. That'll probably be an application sometime around May or June. So as you're planning your the county budget, although it shows fiscal year, these are federal fiscal years. That 26 project that you see in green there, you would probably not see a grant coming your way until the beginning of the county fiscal 27. Okay, so this year, I guess you're maybe in the budgetary process now. For next year, or maybe just begin it, but just realize that these are federal fiscal years, and the grants, just because of the grant cycle, you probably won't receive it until the next county fiscal year, okay? Then the next project is wildlife fencing. There have been reports of deer and other animals out on the runway, which can be very hazardous. So we're talking about wildlife fencing. That project will require a little bit of property acquisition. And we're showing that it being designed in federal fiscal 27 and constructed in federal fiscal 28. We're letting 29 be a gap year, which is what the FAA encourages us to do. So what that allows them to do is to build up a little bit more money, because some of these projects are going to require what's called state apportionment or discretionary money. So we take a gap year and then we design the T-hangars and the taxi lanes to go to the T-hangars, and then in 31 we'd actually construct that project.
So it looks like the 3 in the pink could be done during 2027.
So to be designed in 27, and then construction in 28.
Okay.
It'd be the fencing.
That's all 3. The 3 pink ones.
Let's see here,
I got your color there.
Oh, okay, you're looking at the sketch. Okay, I see what you're doing, okay. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you look at this page.
Sorry about it. I was looking at the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the spreadsheet takes care of itself, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. We try to color code it just to make it easier to compare, so you can see what the project looks like, and then you can see what the costs are, and then all the different funding sources. So what the FAA is expecting is that we submit on behalf of Allendale County an updated capital improvement plan along with a sketch. They will also require a pre-application for the federal fiscal 2027 project. And all that is due to them no later than December the 5th. And all we need really tonight is just your authorization to do that for them, based on what you see here.
Okay.
There's no commitment to fund anything, it's just, this is what we plan to do, and the FAA and the state will also get a copy of this, because they have money in this, in all of these projects, so they can plan.
Okay. So basically, we just need to approve, in essence, your CIP
Yes.
for 2027.
And then we will, and that, after that approval, will allow us to forward it, all that on your behalf, and the staff will be copied on that. The FAA will receive it, the state will be copied on it, so
Okay.
everybody will have it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the CIP for 2027 presented by Hope Consulting.
Second.
Moving properly second that we approve the CIP that's been presented for the Allendale County Airport by Mr. Holt. And is there any question? No question?
I'd just like to say, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And I'm going to be traveling back tonight, trying to look out for the deer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. Mr. Holt, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Okay. Next item. Council report. And we're going to begin with Vice Chair Cheney.
Good evening. Brother Chairman, I have just a few things.
Okay.
On the Office of Aging, on the 14th of this month, they took the seniors for a luncheon at Old Country Buffet in Georgia, and they had a great time over there, and the seniors enjoyed themselves.
Okay.
And also, on the 21st of this month, which is, I think that's tomorrow, they will be having a luncheon at the Leisure Center
Okay.
for the seniors.
Is that
Starting at
Thanksgiving or just?
Part of Thanksgiving, because, yeah, it starts at 11 o'clock a.m.
Okay.
So,
And you may want to consider at some point at the end of the year or maybe early next year, treating the seniors to the new restaurant there in Elmer's. Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
I'll bring that to her attention about that. I think they also have a Thanksgiving, a Christmas dinner around Christmas time also.
Okay.
But I'll bring it up about the new restaurant in Elmer. And secondly, I have the reports coming from the sheriff and the sheriff department. They had 23 calls coming from the county for service. They had 77 calls coming from the city of Allendale. They made 179 traffic stops. They issued 186 traffic tickets. They arrested 26 individuals. They made 4 littering cases. It seems like every report they have littering cases coming up in the county.
That's good.
At the animal shelter, they had 17 calls. They had 8 dogs captured and 2 was sent to rescue. And they had 23 dogs at the shelter. There was a total of 29 calls for escort, civil matters, and welfare checks. Some of them were handled by phone, and it was a total of 9 traffic accidents within the city and the county, which was a total, in coming from the 911 to the sheriff units, was 529 calls. And we'd like to thank the sheriff and his deputies for all that they do for the county, working within the city and working during the county time. They do a lot, and we appreciate all that they do for the county of Allendale. So Chairman, that's my report.
Thank you, Vice Chair Cheney. Matt?
Mr. Chairman, at the last meeting, we talked about the county signs coming into the county, and you asked that I bring it before the CTC committee to see if they would fund that. Their consultant, Mr. Herb Cooper, informed me that that is not a
CTT.
not an approved expense.
Okay.
So they cannot do that. So we need to look elsewhere for that.
Okay.
Also there, I'd like to thank Mr. Pinckney and their committee. They have approved the final funding to finally open the Boogaloo Crossing. So they approved that final commitment. And if I'm not mistaken, they said they could start on that project in 12 to 18 months. Is that right, Mr. Witt? Once we got it.
With the safety equipment, it would take about 12 to 18 months for that to arrive.
Okay.
But they could finish it in that time period.
Okay. So anyway, I'd like to thank them. It's exciting for my district, and it's been about 25 years in the making. So I'd like to thank that group for sticking with it and making sure we got that funded.
Yeah.
And also we talked about the possibility, I say we, talked about the possibility of bringing in outsourcing some dirt road scraping to get our roads back in order, and so that way when we finally do get some equipment, they'll be ready to maintain. And so I think the Public Works Director is working on that, trying to get some bids on, see what that would cost, and the CTC would be willing to fund that also.
Matt, is that the list that we have in I saw a list of service roads in the Fairfax area?
No.
That's not it?
I think that was some paving that the CTC had approved.
With the brag?
We had talked about, or I had asked about the possibility of outsourcing some of it, just to get them back shaped properly, and so anyway, they seem to be receptive of that, so I think Mr. Terry is working on getting some bids. Our fire report, we already talked about St. Mark. They had 26 calls for the month. I did not attend the meeting, but they had an ISO meeting with their consultant earlier this month. I talked to the chief today, and he gave me a rundown. The consultant has offered some information to E911 and the fire department that would help our score. And they're still in the process of doing that 50 or 100-year drought study. I think once we get that drought study, we'll have a lot of information that we can move forward to improve our ISO rating. And I would like to thank Mr. Killian for getting that litter ordinance prepared for a first reading tonight. So we've been asking that for that, and excited about that. And that's all I have.
Okay, very good. Mr. White?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Council, I'll be very brief as well. I just wanted to, I provided everyone, all the council, with a report from CC&I regarding our permits that were granted during the month of October. I've asked CC&I to provide that on a monthly basis. We can see that during the month of October, we had 11 residential permits taken and 4 new commercial permits taken. And all of that information is provided as far as the addresses, where they are, and what is open, what is pending, what's closed, or what has been denied or declined. All of that information is presented, and that will be presented also to the Planning and Zoning Commission if they have any questions regarding those projects. The other thing, from the Personnel Committee, Ms. Jennings and I met since our last meeting, and we provided some recommendations via email to council. Once we go into executive session, I just want to bring some more information regarding that so we can take action on those recommendations. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm going to be brief. I just want to say quickly, I think most of us attended the groundbreaking on November the 5th for the Hampton Lumber. It was well attended, 100 plus attendees. And we were happy to have the governor come down and be with us for that tremendous occasion. We also attended Three Rivers Solid Waste Technology meeting that same day, and also we had the Three Rivers Solid Waste Authority meeting on November 5th. We also had a retreat in Greenville for SRS CRO, and we do have a new member from Allendale County, Jason Cohn. Jason was there with us for those 2 days of retreat. We're planning to move forward with SRS being under the NNSA instead of EM. We expect new missions, we expect new projects, we expect to hire thousands of people within the next 3 to 5 years. So I think for the most part, the site is looking about as good as it has looked in the last 20 years, to be honest with you. Also, I did attend the ISO meeting a couple weeks ago. Chief Stanley hosted along with the consultant. Learned quite a bit. I do agree with Matt that there is some room to make some minor improvement, and as we increase our fleet, increase our venues, you know, to be able to house and equipment, and I think you see a tremendous decrease in our fire insurance. And I know a lot of folks here are paying probably over $200 a month for fire protection, and that's quite a bit. So, and we need to do something, and I think we're on the way to do something to eliminate that, or at least get it under control. So that's very important. Also, I think we got notification that SCA will have their board meeting for December down in Fairfax. I would ask council to RSVP to attend that. We don't get a chance to have it that close that often. So it's 11:30 on December 2nd, and they will have lunch and then go into the meeting at noon. So I advise you to do that.
Give them the location.
The location will be at the Fairfax Community Hut, or Community Building, which is what replaced the hut, which I think, I hadn't been in that new facility, but I heard it's very nice. Okay, and Association of the County, we will be back in Greenville in first week in December, planning for, it's what we call our legislative conference, planning items that we're going to present to our legislators come January on issues that affect county government. And we'll spend a couple of days there going through those legislative agenda and adopting a legislative policy that will be available for our legislators to at least focus on and do what's good for county government. So we look forward to that. Also, this weekend coming, we will be in Myrtle Beach for our annual council government meeting, which is an annual thing that all the 10 cogs come together throughout the state, and we will spend a day and a half actually doing some planning and also learning some different things that we can do. Last week we had our executive committee meeting in Blackville, and which is basically dealt with housing, a housing consortium, and there's a lot of money available for upfit homes in our region, 6-county region. I didn't see any homes being rehabbed here in Allendale County, but there's money available. We approximately $1.5 million that's still left. So if you know someone, we have Dr. Monard here, and I'm sure he can direct anybody to who to see or who to call. So we do know that we have a problem here in this county when it comes to many homes that are not within our codes. So that's very important. It's an easy process to do it. So if you know somebody, I would say get them to reach out to our local Savannah office in Aiken. Also want council to consider next month council meeting, December the 18th, that we will have a small Christmas celebration for the employees, and at the same time we will recognize our coroner of the year, it's Unique Riley, and also our probate judge, who is probate judge president for the year. So we'll combine those two, have a small celebration with county employees who want to attend, and also recognize Unique and Keith on their status as president of those associations. So we're toned down our December meeting. Ms. Judy will make certain we won't have a whole lot on the agenda, and we'll tone it down so we can spend at least 30 minutes or so with our employees. We don't get a chance to interact that much with them. It's at this level, you know, council and our administrator and our staff interacting with our employees. So that'll be a good time to, you know, one-on-one for those who want to attend. So we're also looking at our Christmas decoration. Hopefully they will be up for every building here in the county. And Mr. Pinkman was not wrong when he talked about our grounds, and we've been talking about that for years now. And you know, once we get ourselves in a financial posture, you know, we can do some real landscaping. And I know Clay and I have talked about it briefly, and you know, most people when they come here, they would see our admin building, and we certainly can do some improvement there. And I think council will be thinking about that, looking at securing some funds. And to Mrs. Rice, we'll say on our historical building, you indicated you put that off to January. So you know, we've had a lot of talks and back and forth on that. So, and this council has well, this council has bitten the bullet, so to speak, and we ask that you move as quickly as you can, and hopefully everybody can see the results. Lastly, I've been informed that we do have vacancy on our regional workforce development board. We actually have 2 vacancies. So I would say to council, if you know anyone who want to serve on our regional workforce board, and it should be 1 community person and 1 business person. That's the way it should be. So please be thinking about that. And also on our tourism, regional tourism board, I think we still call it Thoroughbred, don't we? Okay. And we have 2 vacancies. We should have 3, we only have 1. So, and Ann, I know you can find some people for us that enjoy tourism. So, we just need volunteers. So, Dr. Monod, you can give you 30 seconds if you like.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Of course, I was going to give you more than that. Okay. Next item is our County Administrator report, Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a number of things I want to dovetail on some of the things that have already been talked about tonight. But
Okay.
I do have a number of items to go over. First, just want to mention item new business 13B, which is an MOU between Allendale, and Baltimore counties to conduct the appraisal on SRS to try to change our payment in lieu of. I've already agreed to do it. It was only about $1,200 that Allendale would have to shell out. But what's in your packet is the actual MOU, and each of the three counties still need to sign it. It'll be the last one to get it into circulation. So if you could just remember that when you get to that point, it's already kind of a done deal. We just need to approve the MOU. Mr. Connolly mentioned the litter control ordinance. It is definitely a draft. It still needs to be a bit of work. We still need some input from the sheriff. And I figured this would start the conversations, and you might want to, after you get first reading tonight, assign it to an appropriate committee or develop a committee to go through and start working on the actual details of it. We don't have penalties in there right now, except through reference to state code. So we need to look at pin that down, and Walter needs to be involved in that as well. So glad to finally get that started for you so we can hopefully put something in place. Item number 3 is a comment about what Mr. Pinckney said. I wish he was still here to confirm it, and I think Mr. Connolly touched on it as well too. At the last CTC meeting, they advised that, and Mr. Cooper confirmed that we could do some equipment leasing through them, and Bill has gotten a lease quote. But the other thing that was more intriguing to me, if I heard him correctly, and I didn't know CTCs could do this, is that we could do a bid or an RFP for private contractors to come in with their equipment, take care of our roads, and they will pay for it. The CTC will pay for it. So my recommendation to you is, first of all, I want to put an agreement together between the two that says they will do that. And the other thing is we need to develop an RFP to send out for private contractors, essentially privatizing our road maintenance, because we cannot find operators. So we may not be able to find private contractors that can do it too, because
They're pretty busy too.
they're so busy right now with other stuff, they may not be able to do it. But I'd like to give that a shot, if council's okay with it. I didn't want to start that process without y'all being okay with it. So if that's okay, I will start working on an agreement.
I think that's fine.
And an RFP. You're probably aware that we still have about $92,000 remaining on the USDA grant that we would have to match with about $23,000. It was for fire and law enforcement. Sheriff and I talked, he wants about $10,000 of it for radio, 800 radios, and Chief Stanley has put together a proposal to eat up the rest of it, if you will. We need to get this done pretty quickly because they're trying to close the grant out. And I think December 31st is when they're talking about being done, so we got to get that done pretty quickly. But we're working on that, we'll be aware of that.
Clay, did you check out if any of the money can be used with the something up?
No, I did not ask that question, but I would.
Okay.
I would.
What money being used for what in St. Mark?
The grant money, some of that grant money. Could we use some of that?
Station?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll certainly find out, or
Okay.
we'll get an answer on that. We're working with the COG right now on potentially applying for an RIA grant, or the Rural Infrastructure Authority grant, in the fall of '26 cycle for a rehab of our water tower. We'll need to get an engineer on board, and we'll be working through that process to develop specifications and cost estimates so that we can know what to apply for. We'll be doing that probably shortly after the first of the year. That's why Bill and his staff told us we probably couldn't get it ready in time for the March, April funding cycle, but we should be ready for the September 26 cycle to do that. So we'll be working on that project to try to get you something and then apply for that grant.
I think that water tank project could certainly tie in to what we'll be seeing done in the Fairfax area. And also with what the town of Fairfax want to do on that first phase of the capital improvement project. It would tie in quite well, I think, so.
Sure. And I think Alliance is probably going to be working on that. We may have them work on this as well, so we'll just have to see what synergies we can put together there. Mr. Conley mentioned Boogaloo Crossing. CTC did fund that, but there's also a potential CSX safety fee for the maintenance on the equipment that we're putting out there. We've asked them to waive that. They are considering it. We have not heard back from that. What was that number, William?
$9,364 annually.
Annually.
3% annual increase.
And that would be expected for us to pay, but hopefully they'll decide not to.
And what is that for? I mean, once you put
Crossing
this,
arms,
Maintenance with cross arms.
all the lights and stuff they have to put up, so you have to maintain their equipment for them.
Which is standard practice
It
today.
is.
is it now?
It is.
Okay.
And, you know, fighting City Hall is a whole lot easier than fighting the railroad.
But what would happen? Will we have the liability? What would be the liability if
If they didn't work,
Yeah, for
I
some
think
reason.
they're gonna be responsible for maintaining it, you just have to pay for it.
Okay,
The only liability I think you would have is if you didn't pay for it. And they didn't do the
all
work.
right.
That's my take. I'm playing lawyer here and sitting beside lawyers. Treasurer contacted us today, and as all of you know, the penny is no more, or will be no more. I don't know how many people we actually have to pay with cash. I don't know if anybody uses cash anymore, but a lot of organizations are going to a roundup policy. They have to develop a roundup policy, so if somebody's tax bill is $543.31, they'd have to pay 35 cents. Because you can't take a partial payment on those taxes.
So I'm gonna be paying more then.
Just because you can't put a penny out there.
What if you had pennies?
We can take them.
Can you pay cash?
As long as you can get them, but you laugh about it, but in my history in the past, I had a gentleman bring in a wheelbarrow full of nickels
Okay.
and paid his tax
I
bill.
thought we had a no cash policy. Are you taking cash for taxes? Do you accept cash?
Yeah, treasury office, yeah, we always accept the cash.
Okay.
Yeah, I think sometimes in delinquent tax, no, we always, even delinquent tax accept cash.
Oh, yeah.
I think most delinquent
I think
tax,
it's like-
you can't issue a personal check in delinquents.
Right.
Yeah. My buddy's sitting there, he knows.
So anyway, we may be developing that policy. I don't think it's an immediate need, but it's just a change in what's happening with the federal mint. Holiday pay for our employees will be in their checks tomorrow or tonight, whenever it hits their, and it's the same as what you did last year. I don't have much of a finance update this month. Mr. Kirkley is still, he's pretty much finalized our chart of accounts. He certainly has the chart of accounts in place for the payroll system because we've been on new payroll now for 4 payrolls?
I know at least 3, yeah.
3. So they're working with the new chart of accounts. What I've seen with the chart of accounts looks good. I will be using that when I send out budget request information in January. But you're gonna get more of a finance report from Buddy here in just a few minutes. But Shane's still working. He's on vacation this week. I was hoping to get him here so you could meet him. But I'm gonna do my best to get him here in December.
Please. I think we need to have him come talk to
Oh,
us.
I agree completely. And then finally, if council approves, I would like to implement a check writing policy for our county. Right now, people call and ask for a check and they need it yesterday or they need it tomorrow or whatever. I'd like to put in writing a policy where they have to have the information in by some date or some day of the week and write checks once a week. Instead of having AP having to do it all, or you having to come in and sign it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if I could put something like that together for you for your December meeting and let you approve that.
That'd be great.
It'd be much more efficient and hopefully more controlled.
Yeah. And, trying to track us down, that's,
Sure.
it's tough.
So, we'll work out something for you to look at. It won't be anything lengthy, but it's just something we need just for organizational purposes, if nothing else. particularly with small staff. So, at any rate, that's my report, Mr. Chairman, unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Goodwin? All right. Thank you, sir. Our County Attorney report, Mr. Sanders.
Everything that I was going to discuss has been thoroughly discussed, so I have nothing to add to it, and that's my report.
Okay. Thank you, sir. But I do have one question.
Okay?
What's the status of our equipment down in Fairfax in that park? Have we done anything on that?
We have not yet. We know it's on the radar to do, but we have not done it yet.
Okay. All right, thank you. Our old business. The third reading of an ordinance of the County Council for Allendale County authorizing the execution and delivery of a credit agreement by and between Allendale County and Hampton Lumber Mills for payment of fee in lieu taxes. This is our third reading, folks.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
So, moving properly second, that we accept the third reading of our fee in lieu ordinance with Hampton Lumber. Any question? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. Item B is the second reading of an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of an amended and restated solid waste service agreement with the Three Rivers Solid Waste Authority to extend the term thereof through 2050. This constitutes our second reading. Any questions on that? This, as you know, is something we've talked about for the last 6 months. It was coming. We're certainly going to see some increases. It's going to be $2 per year for the next 5 years. We will go up, I think right now it's maybe 37 or 38.
At the gate, it's $37.50.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the ordinance to extend the agreement with Three Rivers Solid Waste Authority.
Second. Got a motion to accept the second reading of the ordinance, establishing a new agreement until 2050 with Three Rivers Authority. Any question? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Next month, we have the third and final reading. Okay. Now we're down to our fiscal year 2023-24 audit discussion. Mr. Buddy Leapard. Buddy, thank you for being here and thank you for waiting so patiently.
Well, glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
This is the audit that Bill said for the year ending June 30th, 2024. Page 1 is our independent auditor's report. Due to the conditions of the records, we had to again issue adverse opinions on the financial statements. We'll go over some of those conditions later. Why don't we go to, let's see, page 9, because this shows the information that y'all will operate on day to day, you know, so got your current information. Y'all on page 9? Anytime you have any questions, feel free to ask, by the way. Cash and cash equivalent for general fund was $9,000,003. Now don't get excited because $7 million of that is the litigation settlement money. You see. Delinquent taxes receivable $532,000. Other receivables $296,000. Due from Special Revenue Fund, $338. Total assets, 10,000,005. Liabilities, accounts payable, $1 million. Accrued expenses and payroll withholdings are listed. Due to agency funds are listed. That's primarily taxes that haven't been remitted yet, but that's not an unusual thing at all. Due to special revenue fund, $6,990,000, which is the Savannah River, primarily Savannah River litigation settlement funds, which is being held in the general fund because they don't have a bank account. I'm not advising to get one either, but I'm saying that
We don't need any more accounts.
we don't need any more bank accounts. The fund balance for the general fund was about $600,000 at the end of June 30, 24. And I got capital projects, debt service listed. You can see what their balances are. American Rescue Plan is pretty much over with. It's got 53,000, which if it hadn't already been, it's got to go to the general fund at some point in time, if it hadn't already gone there.
So we still got some of the ARPA money, 53,000.
Well, this is June 30th, 2024. I don't know what you got now. The treasurer would know.
Thank you, buddy.
The Savannah River litigation, we talked about that. Non-major governmental funds, there's a schedule in the back that discusses those. Next page is the revenue and expenditures, changes in fund balance. Property taxes, $9,000,005. Of course, West Fraser was about $2 million of that. That's the first year it kicked in under the new arrangement. State revenue, $1,170,000. Fines, fees, and penalties, $472,000. Total revenues, $11,678,000. Actually, we can cover these things in our budget comparison if you'd like to, instead of going up twice.
Yeah, buddy, are we still on, what page are we on now, 10?
11.
11, okay.
Debt service, local option sales tax, about $700,000. And of course, they're just paying the debt service, principal and interest. American Rescue Plan, we recognized $670,000 revenue, that was transferred to general. Savannah River litigation settlement brought in $7 million, spent $40,000. And then the other non-major governmental are listed all there. Like I said, we got a schedule on that later. Page 13 is the budget and actual in totals. So the revenues, total budget $9,000,003, actual was $11,678,000. And the West Fraser was a lot of the difference, which I don't think was budgeted for. Fine fees, fine forfeitures and fees, I didn't understand the budget was $1,044,000, which the council approved, but there's items in there that really, I don't know that y'all received them.
Well, we only shown 400 and something thousand that we received.
Yeah, I think the budget was just off,
Okay.
so that's why that's the
You
difference.
think our budget was higher than what the actual numbers?
Yeah. Wishful thinking, I guess, but anyway. But that's about it on that.
let's look at the airport operation. That sticks out too, buddy.
Yeah, well, the budget was just more than it should have been. That's all I can say. I mean, you know, 95,000 is what, from what I could tell, is what the county received. But the budget was much higher.
Well, you look at,
And the same with the expenditures, the budget was higher. If you look on down, 357 and actual 194, so it was much higher too. So it kind of offset.
okay.
There's more detail on that later. Well, the proprietary fund is the water and sewer, this rocking along. I mean, if you go to page 15, it brought in 206,000 and the county received all of it basically. You know, so that's still doing fine. Page 17 is all the fiduciary funds are all some listed here in total. I've got detailed in the back. And then the notes, I don't see any reason to go over those.
But, you know, our conversation that we might have overpaid the schools about maybe 80,000, I think, 60, 80.
You mean the Lily Solar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the treasurer apportioned money to Lily Solar that after y'all had approved that new agreement.
Okay.
So, now granted, it was old taxes, but that might be a Walter question. But I don't think there's much question about it. I mean, you had a new agreement with them, and they agreed to it. So I don't think they should have gotten that's just my opinion, they shouldn't have gotten the 65,000, whatever it was.
But it looks like we had the old agreement and the new agreement. By the time we collected the money that was, and they were late paying under the old agreement, we had already gone to the new agreement.
That's
So
right.
it seemed like there's a middle ground there. If you looked at it, you know, it was a call to make. And I think that's what happened. The treasurer made the call that, hey, a lot of this money is from the old agreement. So she went ahead and allowed the school to have it. So that's something.
For me with that, but, you know, if they were entitled to it under the old agreement and what was paid applied to the old agreement, then they should get whatever
The old agreement
said.
Old agreement should be in place.
Right.
And I think that's
Should be enforced.
what Buddy was saying.
But see, council, at some point, y'all voted to suspend.
The old agreement.
No, to suspend the fees in lieu for the school.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that might kick in too. You see, council voted to suspend, I don't know when that was, but it's been years ago.
Yeah, but I don't think it's.
2022 was the taxes that Lily Solar paid. They paid for 2022 tax year, but we didn't receive the funds until 2023. So I went and paid 2022 because that was 2022 taxes they were paying, and they got that portion. Anything after that, they did not get all of it, because that's when you also said no more funds that shall go to the school. But because it was a 2022 tax year that they paid,
It fell in.
I felt like they were entitled to that portion of the funds.
They fell in that time frame and you paid it.
And, right, 2022,
all right.
but 2023 and thereon, y'all they did not get any portion of that fund.
Well, we move on.
Okay. Page 53, we have more detail on the budget and actual. Actual taxes were much higher than budgeted. And your state revenue was about the same.
So, buddy, we got more money than we budget for, taxes?
Yeah, West Fraser, you know, was primary.
And that was because, I think West Fraser, they,
Did some improvements?
well,
Y'all never
I'll save that for another one.
budget. When y'all, in that particular year, y'all never included West Fraser in the budget.
Right.
We did
So
not?
that's why we got more
Oh,
money
okay.
that year.
I'll save my comment for later.
All right.
But yeah, you're right.
Oh, but now, the fines, forfeitures, and fees, the budget was $1,044,000. But I looked at the detail, and $550,000 was for business licenses.
We don't have business license.
I know, but y'all budgeted that. You budgeted $550 of business licenses. That was included in the approved budget I've received.
Yeah.
And $200,000 for reckless driving fines. That's why that was so high.
Okay.
That was to bring up, that was when y'all was proposing to establish the business license, and and they went and did a study, and we said, this is what we were going to do.
This was projected.
Right.
Okay.
That y'all say y'all were going to do.
All right. Thanks,
But we
buddy.
didn't have nothing, but.
That was, we
More
was
wishful thinking.
wishful thinking. Thanks, buddy.
The rest of this budget comparison stuff, y'all can look at it when you want to, but I'm not gonna spend time.
Buddy, what's your recommendation?
I wanna go to the comments,
Okay.
if you want me to.
Yes, sir. Quickly.
What page we on?
I'm gonna skip on over to
103?
87.
87?
Now, a lot of these are the same as in the past, you know. You want me to go over them, or just y'all want to look at them when you get a chance?
I think we can, you can, if there's one in particular you think we ought to pay attention, you can go over. If not, I will ask council to study this, and our lawyer and Clay, and we're gonna discuss them later.
I've already been through and signed the corrective action plan
Yeah.
for them. So
I think I signed them too, didn't I?
No, you signed a representation letter.
Okay.
So, we both had signed that with the corrective action plan I signed. And, but that'll be sent to the state treasurer as well.
Oh yeah, they get the complete thing.
So we will work hard at trying to correct as many of these as we can between now and as soon as we can.
Okay. But if you wanna just give us a
Well,
one that you think
on
is,
page 99, the bank account activity should be recorded in the general ledger. But during this transitional period, I guess with potential Springbrook and QuickBooks, the accounts were not, for the most part, weren't on the general ledger. Now, the operating account was, pretty much. But there were 4 new bank accounts set up, and the majority of those transactions were not recorded on the ledger, or recorded incorrectly. I don't know if you need these bank accounts or not. It's making the audit almost impossible, because now Al might disagree, but that operating fund account, I don't understand what that's all about. When the county gets a portion of money, instead of going to the county, in essence, it goes to that operating account. And it's still sitting in there And then it's gotta be transferred from there to the AP or the payroll.
So you think we can bypass that whole area?
Well, I mean, yes.
Okay.
Now, she might disagree,
I do.
but it's it's not even on the ledger.
Okay.
She keeps her side record of it, and it really made things, not just that account, other accounts too.
Okay.
That were
Let
not
me
on the
ask
ledger.
this, and Clay, you might be able to help me. What we're doing with our financial advisor now, do we not indicate that we will see some improvement in that process?
I certainly hope so. I mean, he's gonna look at all of the bank accounts as well, and he's trying to reconcile those as best he can, to the general ledger, as best he can.
He's not gonna be able to, because they're not on the
I think he's
ledger.
finding that out, but he's gonna work on fixing that as well. So what we gotta do, once we get that done, we got to make sure it stays done.
Okay.
And that's what we're gonna be working on. I think we have too many accounts as well. That was one of the first things I felt like when I first got here. We had too many accounts. And we're gonna see what activities there, what we can do to clean all those up. But there's a lot of it.
Okay.
And obviously,
And our treasurer, Ms. Smith, you had a comment. You were saying that you need that account, or you want that hole in the area?
I like that account for the mere fact that I put funds there. I know exactly what I put. And then what y'all do is allocate it from that account to where y'all want it to go. That is not, and I think it works pretty good, because when it was time to pay bills, we know what we had, how much we need to put there, instead of putting all into that one account. It's just right now, where we at, it's working good.
Okay.
For us to keep up with our funding. I understand what Buddy is saying, but I just know it's working pretty good now for us to maintain what we have and know how to allocate it out.
But see, it leaves a gap in the controls, because if it's not on the ledger and you transfer money to and from, and it's not recorded anywhere,
So we
too
need
much
it,
room for a potential.
but can we record it the way it is now, as we move it over into this hole in the account?
Yeah, you can. I don't see the purpose of it, but you can.
Okay, but what I'm saying is having accountability of the money, even though the treasurer says she knows it's there, but having it on the ledger, would that not be a pathway that you can see and I can see where it went?
Yeah, if it's done properly.
Okay.
In the tax account, you see, here's how it works. There's also a tax account, and that's where the taxes and the fees in lieu and all are supposed to go. And then they're portioned out of that account. The school gets theirs religiously, the hospital gets theirs. But the county, their portion just goes into this, and it's not on the books either, by the way. The tax account wasn't even on the ledger.
Okay.
And that's where all the taxes are going into.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So, anyway, hopefully, Clay, they work it out.
And hopefully, buddy, you can get with our treasurer and let y'all two work it out and see. I think one of the things that I'm concerned about, and I think the citizens are concerned about, and this council is certainly concerned about, the transparency on how monies are moved in and out. And the easier way to track it, the better. If a ledger is what needs to be done. So if anybody walk in to the office and want to see the general ledger, simple to see. You transfer A to B, B to C, and it shouldn't be rocket science, because you're only talking about, revenue and expenses. That's what we deal with.
I know. but if it's not maintained properly, you're not gonna be able to get this out of a poorly maintained ledger unless you spend a lot of time on it. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Then I appreciate it, but I hope that you and the treasurer will get together and along with our financial advisor and because from where we sit, we expect things from today forward to be a lot smoother.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I'm gonna hold you to it.
Hold me to it.
He's gonna hold me to it too.
I'm not the one I'm coming after the fact.
Buddy, I got it. Buddy.
And I would say this, Chairman, if you wanted to go into the account where it always went the last 2 years that when I put everything in there, then y'all had questions about the fund. So that's why that operating fund is there, so if you got questions, I can go right to it and say it. But when I put it in the, general fund y'all had before, and I gave total access to it, then y'all came back looking at me.
And that came about because of the past administration that we had, and you know that, and I know that.
Right.
And I certainly would have to yield to Clay, since he's with us, to do a significant recommendation and evaluation of the system and let council know what's best.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Buddy, thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. Put my hand on that. Okay, new business. A resolution to amend the amended and restated master agreement for the establishment of the Croix County Industrial Park 1, 2, and Park 3 to enlarge the park to include the Delavan Spray LLC property and other matters related hereto. And McCain, it's all yours.
So this is a resolution just expanding a multi-county industrial park in Bamberg. Normal split with the other counties. So this is just additional tax revenue for Allendale County.
Okay.
If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay.
I just need your signature.
Any question for McCain? We just look forward to Bamberg sending some things our way.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the resolution to expand the Quad County Park.
Second.
So moving properly second, that we accept the resolution expanding the our park agreement, the Quad Park with Bamberg County. Any question? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. Okay. Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between Allendale, Aiken, and Walnut counties to conduct an appraisal of the Savannah River site for the purpose of negotiating a new payment in lieu of taxes agreement with the United States Department of Treasurer / DOE.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the MOU and allow you to sign on behalf of the council.
Second. Moving properly second, and I think our fee on this particular agreement will be about less than $2,000.
It's about $1,200. It was divided up among the 3 counties based on acreage in each county, and our percentage is so low that it was not off.
I think we only have 2% of the acres in that.
Yeah, Walter, I've argued the point time and time again, that 2% is riverfront property.
I've heard you say that.
And it should be worth more than what we're getting for it. So, but anyway. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. An ordinance to provide for the control and prevention of litter and illegal dumping within Allendale County, to provide procedures for enforcement, to provide penalties for violation of this ordinance and other matters related thereto. Mr. Killian mentioned the state code that should also be.
Well, I've got a couple referenced by, or included by reference, but there's still, we could do the work
Okay.
to do the ordinance.
Motion to constitute the first reading of this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Moving properly second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
the administrator suggested maybe assigning a committee to work with the sheriff and the attorney. Are you
I think the public safety committee would be appropriate, but if you got some other suggestion, that's fine.
No, sir, it's fine with me.
Okay. We're assigned the Public Safety Committee to work with Mr. Killian on, I would say, expanding and further negotiating. That's the proper word, Walter, right now, to do the expansion and elaboration on this particular ordinance to get it right in terms of what we want to say and what we want to do. So, okay. Also, when we met with the school board, and we had Mr. Killian, who also was on the phone with us, one of the things I say to council that was present, maybe we need to create a committee, and we'll probably do it in January, first of the year, when we name committees, that we will initiate a Allendale County School or Public Education Committee, that the county would, just like a hospital, designate at least 2 council to be on that committee to report back to us. I think we need to strengthen our relationship with our schools, and so come January, I will be naming some council to serve on that committee. Very important. Okay. We're down to executive session.
So move to go to executive session.
So moving properly second that we move into executive session. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. We'll take a 5-minute break before we go in. We're back in session, and we'll ask council, is there any new items or any decision made?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we allow the county administrator to have authority over the administrative office staff and staffing structure to include hiring and firing of staff.
Second.
Moving properly second, that we allow our administrator to have the authority in the administrative office, including staff and ability to hire and fire. Any question? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose it? Ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we fund the increases as requested by the sheriff, up to 15 sworn personnel utilizing funding from vacant positions or other resources as identified.
Second.
Moving properly second, that we honor the request coming from our sheriff, Jamie Freeman, to increase salaries as indicated on his recommendation as soon as we can. As soon as we can. That's what you said.
No, that ain't what I said. Effective immediately.
As soon as we can. Okay. Any question?
Just to clarify, that increase for the sheriff's office would be on the next payroll, because the one tomorrow's done. So
Yes.
Okay. We'll
Right.
check again in 2 weeks.
Yes. That's immediately, as soon as we can.
Was there anything decided on my retro pay?
We tackle one thing at a time, Sheriff. Give us time. Just give us some time. I wish you'd have said that when you did the numbers. But I'm sure we'll let Clay make a recommendation on that too, so. But let us get this motion through. No question? You ready to vote? Who's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Any other decision coming out of the executive session?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Moving properly second, we adjourn. Good night, and Sheriff, check with Clay. We can do something.